right, welcome to the Heinz Silly season. We're going to have some fun because on the outside right there is Michael Scott in the Dunder Mifflin Vance refrigeration car. Let's catch up to the field here. And we got Rosie the Riveter up here, number 42. We're John Hammond from Jurassic Park. We got 5 different paint schemes. We'll talk about that. We got Hannibal Lecter out here on the outside in the Bob's Red Mill fava beans machine. I think that's a Ford. We're doing the Cup90 mod. We'll talk about all this stuff. In front of us is Indiana Jones in the, fittingly Rolling Rock sponsor. And that's Guy Fieri up there in the Tabasco Flavortown paint scheme. It's been a few months. My name's Adam, glad to be back. Let's take a peek through all these cars here. We're starting 30th, 31st, something like that. 31st probably. Since we were on the inside. So we'll try to slice our way through the field here and take a look at all of the cars. They're all fictional. They're all made up. And we'll have some surprises in store. I do want to get everyone acquainted with the paint schemes so you know who they are. But I really wanted to just dig into this right here. Up high, the 20 car, that's Tim Taylor from Home Improvement. Binford Tools. Los Pollos Hermanos, that is Gus Spring. The Spice Girls are up there on the outside. And with the Union Jack car. I wanted that to be Austin Powers, but then I already have a Mike Myers character somewhere else in the field. We'll talk about that. 21 car right there is Mr. Rogers. The Isotoner blue car up there is Ray Finkel from Ace Ventura. Martha Stewart up there on the outside in the 37. Looks like it's Velma Dinkley from Scooby-Doo in our rear view. Up on the outside, that's Jack Burton, the 29 up there from Big Trouble in Little China. In the middle there is Mona Lisa Vito. We'll see if she can cut down in front of us from My Cousin Vinny. Tobias Funke up there in the blue car from Arrested Development, the banana stand. Save Ferris, that's Cameron Fry from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. We'll get a good look at all these paint schemes down the road and show you all the little Easter eggs on them. Like he has he's driving his Ferrari. You can see Ferrari emblem on the rear bumper there. We'll drop him there. Number 18 car, that's Andy Van Slyke, my favorite baseball player when I was growing up. On the outside of him is number 22, Michael Bolton from Office Space. And number 72 right here is Michael Jackson. Up there, the number 6 car is Mick Dundee from Crocodile Dundee, driving the Foster's Lager car. You've probably already seen the Duff car ahead of Michael Jackson. That is Homer Simpson. Up above Mick Dundee, or ahead of Mick Dundee up there in the 71 is D.B. Cooper, the hijacker from the 70s, 1971. The number 55 up there is Rosa Parks. Ahead of her is Neil Armstrong. Ahead of Neil Armstrong is the Ecto-1, that's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Ahead of him is Al Bundy in the Gary's Shoes and Accessories Buick Oldsmobile, I think. Ahead of him is Prince in the Infinity car. And he didn't want any decals on his car, so it's just that's it. Ahead of, up on the high line there, the blue car, that is the Mirthmobile, that is Wayne Campbell from Wayne's World. Ahead of Al Bundy is, in the McDowell's car, is Akeem Joffer from Coming to America, Prince Akeem. Super Dave Osborne up there on the top line, number 14. Steve Jobs ahead of him in the 84 Apple. Right here, the subway car, that is Happy Gilmore. Velma's staying with us back behind us. That's good. Up there in the number 3, the red number 3 on the high line, that is Amelia Earhart. It'll be fun, you know, seeing the number 3 and something that looks like Earnhardt in the standings. But that's Amelia Earhart. That car is her red Lockheed that she flew. Again, I'll go through all these paint schemes eventually and show you the inspiration for them and whatnot. Ahead of her there in the 39, that is Dutch Vanderland from Red Dead Redemption. And that's Hannibal Lecter in front of him. We've talked about that. There's Steve Jobs here in our rear view. And I don't think we're going to see anybody new. I think we've talked about everybody we've seen so far, but we're still missing 7 or 8 cars that we haven't talked about yet. And they'll eventually make their way to the front. There's probably a couple behind us. Yeah, looks like to the inside below us, or behind us, dipping under Velma Dinkley back there. That's going to be Lily from the AT&T commercials. Oh man, I'm tired already trying to describe all these cars. But yeah, it's a silly season. We're just going to have some fun with this. All the cars have the same exact ratings. Ryan Newman from our 2005 season-esque ratings. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be flipping the field every race. So the winner of this race starts 40th the next race. Second place starts 39th, and so on and so forth. We just have 40 steady drivers all season. And I mean, I had 10 or 15 fictional drivers in mind that were left on the cutting room floor that'll be part of another silly season we do. I used the Cup90 Mod for this because they're just the easiest cars to paint. Didn't want to get too bogged down with that. I'm trying to remember why I put Budweiser on Ray Finkel's car. There's usually rhyme or reason for all these little decals I put on the cars. But maybe not. Maybe I just needed something to put there. Or no, I think he was drinking Budweiser when he was throwing up in the bathroom when he found out Einhorn is a man. Alright, so that's Happy Gilmore in the lead. Dutch Vanderland here in second. And we're John Hammond. We're in third. We're doing the usual, probably 35 to 40% races all season long. We're going to have, I think, 30 races. I actually don't have the schedule 100% down yet. I know we're going to the Atlanta D configuration next, the night race. But some other tracks I put in, we're going to go to new tracks. We're going to go to, well, look who's cutting in on the inside here. That is Tommy Callahan from Tommy Boy in the Callahan brake pads car. And I think that's Andy Warhol. Yeah, the artist Andy Warhol there in the Campbell soup car. There's old Mr. Rogers. Haven't lost anybody yet. Yeah, but this is a big experiment this season. Oh no, but I want to finish my thought there. Oh, there's Randy Marsh from South Park. That's the obviously the Alan Kulwicki Hooters paint scheme, but they parodied Hooters in South Park with a restaurant called Raisins. And I also have a Tegrity Farms paint scheme for Randy Marsh. Looks like on the inside is Neil Armstrong, but here comes Forrest Gump, bubblegum shrimp. And there's Mick Dundee, the Foster's logger car. Martha Stewart right there. Oh, we're having some fun here. Rosa Parks. That paint scheme is the bus she was on. There are the Spice Girls. Michael Scott. I think we've seen all the cars. I think there's probably one or two we haven't seen yet. Pit stops are around lap 25 or 26 here. Jack Burton, the Pork Chop Express right there. Big Trouble in Little China. We've talked about that. Just the little things on these paint schemes. This is Happy Gilmore in front of us. CCM, you know, because he likes hockey and everything from the movie. Northwest Airlines, that's the airline that D.B. Cooper hijacked. Gus Fring coming in on the inside. You'll see a A1A car wash decal from Breaking Bad there. Exxon, I don't think that has any rhyme or reason. That's Michael Bolton from Office Space there. It's not wreck here. These cars are just evenly matched, and I want to talk about that. I do want to get out of the inside line here because I want to talk about stuff. And right now, it's just there's a lot going on. There we go. We're behind Homer Simpson here. Quickie Mart on the deck lid there. Can't really see it that well. But yeah, I'm curious to see with all the cars having pretty much the same solid ratings. I'm curious to see how that works on some, you know, not a restrictor plate track. Because the field is going to have to get split up. Like they can't just have all the cars with the same exact speeds and the same exact ratings battling and whatnot. Because I think the game pretty much solves it on its own and spaces the field out. Which means some cars, even though they have solid ratings, will have to, by default, just not be as strong as other cars. And I think that may result in us gaining a lot of points. Like, say we finish this race in first. That means we start the next race in 40th. But we may just be faster than those cars in the back because they're told by the game to go a little bit slower for whatever reason. And we'll be able to gain points there. And if that's the case, we'll just have to, we'll figure something out. I mean, it'll be glaringly obvious if we're running away with it. So maybe in the last 8 races of the season, we get the top 10 drivers from the regular season, and they just start 1 through 10 the rest of the year. Whatever place you end up, you know, if you finish first, you'll start 10th. You know what I'm saying. Basically, the top 10 playoff drivers will always start in the top 10 every race. Just in the reverse order of where they finished the previous race. I don't know. We're just winging it. It's called the silly season for a reason. Point system is as usual. I'm not sure if I'll throw that up. Probably throw all that up in the next race. But adding some quirks. We have a Heinz 57, a Heinz 57 bonus, a Unical 76 bonus, and an 84 lumber bonus. At the halfway mark of the race, the driver in 10th place gets a point, driver in 20th place gets a point, and the driver in 30th place gets a point. The 57 will be in the 10th place, 76 will be 20th, the 84 lumber bonus will be 30th. Just little things. Trying to have some fun. Everybody's still in the race. I'm trying to look through the pack, see if we've missed anybody yet. Yeah, we saw Wayne Campbell, Spice Girls, Indiana Jones, Prince, Forrest Gump, Michael Jackson. We've seen everybody. I'll have, I most likely threw up some graphics by now, but I do have just custom graphics for all these. We'll have the grid shown before every race, talk about the standings before every race. Just won't have any pomp and circumstance and music and whatnot. Probably going to end up using NFL primetime music from back in the day, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get nicked with copyright things. And so there might start being ads on these videos, but I won't be getting money from that. They'll be putting the ads on to make money from it, I think. But whatever. Let's lead a lap, though. This is Neil Armstrong here. That's the Saturn V rocket paint scheme. But yeah, I don't think I finished my thought from earlier. New tracks this season: Nazareth, Nashville Super Speedway, and Riverside. I think are the three new tracks. Riverside road course. We won't be running Sears Point, Sonoma, what have you. But yeah, because I'm doing this, hey, we're flipping the field every race kind of strategy with the points and whatnot, seeing if it works. There were some tracks that I couldn't put in. I wanted to do South Boston, but there's only it only allows 32 cars in the field. Trying to think of some other tracks I looked at. Walt Disney Speedway, I wanted to do that, but it doesn't have 40 cars. Or I couldn't get it to load, I can't remember. And I wanted to do Airbase Speedway from the Slap Shoes saga. But in racing that, because whoever did that just put it together for fun and probably didn't really dig into the INI file too much. It's a, it's a dirt track, and once the cars go single file, that's ball game. Like, the cars don't really try to make passes, and the racing isn't really fun. But we would have had a 40 car field there. It would have been interesting. I think I threw it up here. This is the Oscar Mayer Daytona 500. Every one of our races this season will have a fun sponsor and a customized logo I made. Pit stops are coming up soon. Let's get ready for that. Cautions are on. No random caution this race. I may not even do random cautions. I mean, we're just having fun here. And we'll see where the winds take the winds of destiny take us. That's Tobias Funke up there in the Bluth's banana stand car. He has another paint scheme I made, which is the Bluth's whatchamacallit, the stair car, if you're familiar with the show. That's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man behind us. Let's keep an eye out for some weird AI moves indicating pitting. Stay Puft is pushing us back there. Let's see if he pushes Funke up the track. We may lead a lap here. I think we are going to. Hell yeah. Back in the lead. So maybe we did lead a lap somewhere. But I think super speedways just make this game, the spotter just vomit. Can't keep Can't keep up. And, yeah, no cars have dropped out yet. Not a huge surprise, but I'm also wondering about how DNFs will look. If the game will just force mechanical DNFs on cars, even though they have ratings to where, you know, Ryan Newman ratings from 2005 where he didn't have a mechanical DNF. Pit stops have to be coming. Yeah, we got an 8:38. Martha Stewart pitted. She's the only one that pitted, but we're going to be getting some pit stops here, Jack. Guaranteed. I don't see cars making any big moves behind us. Nope, there's a pit stop. Alright, we're keeping up good speed here. Usually the AI will pit and you'll lose a bunch of speed, but we're doing good here. We are pitting this time by. That was Wayne Campbell that flew past us there. Indiana Jones, Rolling Rock, like I said, stay puffed. The usual suspects here that we've been seeing. Don't do it, MJ. I wanted to do like a moonscape kind of paint scheme for him, but his paint scheme is basically what his Smooth Criminal tuxedo looks like, with the all white with the blue. Anyway, we're pitting. Let's calm down here.
Keep it under 55. Keep it under 4,000 seconds. The leader's pitting now.
Good entry here. We'll take a look at all these pit boxes and stuff eventually too.
We'll give you 1.5 cans of
Don't hit us, Guy Fieri. Oh, he touched us. That's fine. My car wouldn't stop.
Go, go, go! Keep it under 55. Keep it under 4,000 seconds.
Yeah, all the pit boxes have funny uniforms and stuff.
Okay, you're clear of pit lane.
All right. Let's hope these guys don't get into each other. Prince may be coming around to get us here, because I remember Prince pitted before everybody, and I think I see him on the track coming. But let's try to get with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man here. Here comes Prince and Andy Van Slyke.
Clear outside.
But let's hook up with Stay Puft. I'm already getting tired of saying Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Might just call him SP.
You're in the top 10.
Uneventful round of pit stops, it looks like. Who's this down on the track?
The next car's the leader.
Tommy Callahan from Tommy Boy. Having trouble. Looks like Ray Finkel's pulling up behind us. Giving us a shove. I like it. That's Steve Jobs on the outside.
Outside. Keep low. Clear.
I mean, we are hooked up with Stay Puft right now. And once we are for sure hooking up with him and catching up to this next group, we'll head to commercial. Looks like we do have another group catching us, though. Oh yeah, there's a large group. So the field's not going to be incredibly spread out here. But it's just not going to be white knuckle stuff, everyone breathing on you like it was with 40 cars in a pack. All right, we're kind of settling in here. We'll eventually catch this next group. But for now, we're going to head to commercial.
My baloney has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it every day. And if you ask me why, I'll say, 'cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A.
Oscar Mayer, the first name in Bologna.
How's that?
Not much has changed. We're behind Prince right now. Well, I'm guessing some things have changed. We finally caught up with this pack. I forget where we were at when I went to commercial. But we only have 16 cars, I think, here in this front. Yeah, then it goes, then it's like a 7.5 second drop to the next pack. And Michael Bolton and Gus Fring, that's something to look at. They're way off the pack. Something I noticed, and I've never really mentioned it in previous years, but whenever the spotter calls out, "There are the cross flags, we're halfway home," it's never really, it's like one lap past halfway. This race is 80 laps long. You have to complete 80 laps. What's half of 80 laps completed? 40 laps completed. So at the start of lap 41 should be the call out for the halfway mark. But when I was when we were at commercial, he called it out when we were crossing the line at lap 42. Like, I don't know if that's, I'm trying to think if that's even what NASCAR shows. I could pull up one of the old races and see if that's just a quirk where they show it at the end of that lap. But I'm not using that for our scoring purposes. And I have too much stuff going on that I'm not going to be able to keep track during the race at the halfway mark to rattle off who gets the bonus points. Again, the Heinz 57 bonus will be whoever's in 10th at the halfway mark. The Unical 76 bonus is for whoever's in 20th. And the 84 lumber bonus is for whoever's in 30th. Just a little incentive in the pack to race for spots. Let's try not to abuse that over the course of the season and gain, just slow up a little bit to get back into 10th and stuff. It's something that works well with AI drivers that don't even know it's happening. All right, I'm seeing cars ahead of us, so Fring and Bolton must have, I don't know. I mean, they've lost 15 seconds here. They must have made contact or something. Or no, they didn't. I don't know. They were 30 seconds. I don't know. Anyway. Let's set up our left side tires. We may run into a pit window issue here, too. Because we pitted lap 27:54, and it would be lap 81. So I'm hoping for a caution of some kind to make sure the AI doesn't. There's no weird windows, and we have to make a decision on whether we're pitting or not at the end of the race. that's something else too. A lot of AI caused cautions in the game are because of the lower rated AI cars not having consistency ratings up, which means they don't consistently run the lines that the game tells it to, which is what will make them bounce into other cars, cause a wreck. So again, there's a lot of variables and just a lot of experimentation going into this season with all these cars with all these cars having elite car ratings, the same car ratings. I'm just interested to see how that plays out. I'll try to make it a point, maybe starting the next race, and an easy way for me to do that is, to remember to do that, is coming back from commercials. Coming back from a commercial, because we have, what, 30 races, 40 drivers. So, easily, if we cover 2 cars a race, we'll obviously cover everybody. But just so I remember, coming out of a commercial break, I want to spotlight at least 2 cars a race. Their paint scheme, describe the paint scheme, and their pit crew and stuff. And I didn't do it this race, but I'll start the next race. But our paint scheme is obviously the Ford Explorer tour car. Most likely I've shown you an outside view of this car by now. We're also going to have the gray and red Jeep that they originally, they drove around in the island when they first got there and saw the Brachiosaur. And then we have an all-black, just cool-looking car. And we have a car that looks like the helicopter that takes them to the island, sponsored by InGen. And then we also have the Jeff Gordon T-Rex car from 1997. Very fitting, I feel. Our Nazareth race will be sponsored by Schrute Beet Farms, and Michael Scott will have a Schrute Beet Farms car for that race. Integrity Farms for Randy Marsh up there. He has an alternate paint scheme, but not really too many alternate paint schemes. I mean, that's pretty much it. All right, lap 52. Okay, Martha Stewart's going into pit. She's slowing the whole field down. Let's be careful here. That's all. No problem. Man, she really snuck in there. Good for her. We'll let Michael Scott dip down here. Indiana Jones, Rolling Rock behind us. Let's keep an eye on these cars. If they start making moves, we'll be getting more pit stops. Alright, Stay Puft is moving up the track, which means we might have a lot of these. Nope, so. Man. Andy Van Slyke just flying down there. But we're alright. Is Randy Marsh okay here? What's he doing? Is he out of gas?
You're on the bottom.
I think Randy Marsh is out of gas.
Hold your line. Car outside. You're on the bottom. 3 wide. Outside.
Randy Marsh is out of fuel.
Stay low. Clear outside.
We got to go in here.
Keep it under 55. Keep it under 4,000 in seconds. The leader's pitting now.
Let's make sure Guy Fieri doesn't get into us again. Let's make sure we actually... Oh, put the brakes on! What happened here with the brakes? Well, that's our race. Oh, boy. I'm trying to get back.
Limit 55. Keep it under 4,000 in seconds. Limit 55. Keep it under.
I don't know what's going on with my brake pedal. So, that's our race. My car, the brakes just didn't want to work there. I don't understand that at all.
Keep it under 55. Keep it under 4,000 in seconds. Watch that speed now. Keep it on 4,000 in seconds. Okay, you're clear of pit lane. Okay, merge when you can.
Stunned silence right now. We're gonna be a lap down probably, or this is probably gonna be Gus Fring. One of those back marker cars. No, it's Dutch Vanderlyn. I don't know what's going on there. We probably have damage too, scraping the wall. No.
Car outside. Stay low. Clear. Outside.
Is this that front pack? Are we a lap down? Like, we have to be. Like, there's no... We were playing with our Wang on pit road.
Car outside. Clear outside.
I have no idea why my brake pedal just didn't work. Probably just have to calibrate it or something. But hell, we'll get a good start at Atlanta. This is Cameron Fry and the Spice Girls. Let's try to get behind the Spice Girls. The back of their car is exciting. Oh, their butts. See if we can hook up here. They just blew past us. We didn't have, we weren't, they just were too fast. Should have tried to slow them up a little bit more. Maybe they can race side by side. There we go. Come on, help us out here. Not how I envisioned that pit stop to go at all. But listen, we have, there's some other things that can happen here. A lot of these cars might not be able to make it on fuel. We're going to be able to. Because that's just, I'm mad at the game. So we're gonna not worry about our fuel window. We are going to make it all the way. And we'll probably pick up some spots there with the AI having to pit. We're only 24 seconds back. I know that's... Seems like we should be much further back. I forget who was... I mean, Michael Scott was up there. I forget who was even up there when we were... Whatever. We're in a good spot right now. If we can just hang out with the Spice Girls here. We have 20 laps to maybe catch up to that next pack. Let's keep an eye on that. We're pretty much 5 seconds. The Spice Girls are pretty much 5 seconds behind Mona Lisa Vito at the tail end of that pack. So we'll see if we gain or lose time here. We're in a straight line. Looks like they're racing up there side by side. Going into 3, middle of 3 and 4. So let's just see if we're gaining time here. Gus Fring and Michael Jackson are a lap down. Survey says we lost time. We lost 3/10, it looks like, to that next pack. Or no, yeah. It's not very scientific there. I'm just trying to eyeball it. And even just looking at the standings for 2 seconds, I lose our line and we start losing Cameron Fry and the Spice Girls. Trying to get a good look at the Spice Girls bumper here. Just all their butts.
Still there. Clear.
Pretty much all we can do at this point is just talk and think about butts, because there's nothing else going on. Alright. Same story. Skipped a bunch of laps there. I think 7 or 8 laps. And we're just following these two around the track. We got 9 laps to go. Less than 9 laps to go. Hoping for some pit stops from some of these cars, gain some points. We did pass Tim Taylor. He was driving on his own, and we just all 3 of us blew past him. And then what ended up happening with Randy Marsh? Remember his... How was he only 8 seconds back? Did he just not pit? I want to look into that. He may have just not pitted. Maybe there was just a quirk there. I don't know. He was dropping before we pitted. Or maybe that was just, I don't know, 8-second difference? Wayne Campbell now in the lead up there. Martha Stewart pitted early. She's in third. There's only 9 cars in that lead pack. I'm picking Michael Scott. I think Michael Scott's got it this race. No DNFs, 4 cars are a lap down. I made a note. I paused the game and made some notes there during that last little skippage of laps. Made a note to see what happened with Gus Fring and Michael Bolton. I didn't go into the replay, I just made a note to show it during the final video. Michael Jackson and Mick Dundee too. I'm guessing it's just they bump on pit road or something and have to stay there. If we had random cautions this race, that might have been our saving grace. Just I didn't put random cautions on, and that screwed us. Brake pedal, something happened with the brake pedal. I mean, you gotta suspend belief and use your imagination sometimes with this stuff. Role play, I guess. Like, all these AI cars are susceptible to some kind of mechanical failure. We're not. It's very rare that you get a mechanical failure that takes you out of the race, but the AI can get them. It's kind of unfair to them compared to us. So we can just, you know, I forget to calibrate my brake pedal and we don't brake into our stall. It kind of evens out the playing field there. I'm just trying to find the bright side, the silver lining, because our Daytona 500s have been piss in our YouTube seasons. Wrecked with Jeremy Mayfield in 2005. Oh, 1997's 5 more to go. 1997's wasn't bad. I think we finished 3rd or 4th there. And can't remember what happened in 1992. Because I think, oh man. I'm trying to remember his name. Who won that 92, our 92 season? It was like a pink paint scheme, kind of. It wasn't Mike Potter. I'm totally blanking on the name. I feel like an idiot. I think there was an S involved. I'll look it up after the race. Alright, we might be seeing some pit stops here, and we can gain some spots. We'll keep an eye on pit road. Oh, it was an Evinrude paint scheme. I can't think of the name. Jim Sauter. I knew there was an S involved. And he won, and I think we were kind of in the muck, or we were able to see him win. Or no, we were behind him. So I think we were behind him. So we had good finishes. We've had decent finishes at Daytona 500. Just the last 2 haven't been good. We did just have a couple cars on pit road there. So we're gaining a couple spots. A win is out of the cards. That next pack ahead of us is just nowhere to be found. If these 2 clowns pit, we're in trouble. Because we'll have no one No one on pit road.
Just 2 to go.
They're taking the white flag next time. So we're not gaining all those spots. Well, they're taking the white flag about right now. Thereabouts. But I've been content just following these guys. I think they're so powerful. This is like trying to beat 2 Ryan Newmans, basically. That we can't even make a pass here at the end to gain a couple of points. So we'll be starting top 10 at Atlanta next race.
Black flag. 1 more
That's
lap
good.
to go.
They're about to get the checkered flag here. I have no idea who won. I'm not looking at the standings yet. I'll take a look on the backstretch here as we bring her home. Ray Finkel. Ray Finkel won the Daytona 500. Wow. Andy Warhol second. Prince third. Steve Jobs fourth. Wayne Campbell fifth. Michael Scott top 10. Indiana Jones, Martha Stewart, Andy Van Slyke, and Neil Armstrong top 10. And we're coming in home. We're coming in 33rd. Okay, we're coming around. Is this Randy Marsh again? No, it looks like Guy Fieri. I mean, I know these paint schemes already. That's kind of scary. All right, we're going to go into pit road here, and I'm going to test my brakes again.
Limit 55.
I'm trying to
Keep it
figure out what
under
happened there.
4,000 in second.
Because I felt that we didn't brake that well on our first stop. I did there, so I don't know. Maybe I just didn't... Maybe I was scared to slam on the brakes or what. I don't know what happened. And all right, let's take a peek at the results. Ray Finkel obviously got the win. Over here on the left, you see 21 leaders, 37 lead changes. Amelia Earhart, AT&T Lily, and the Spice Girls all got bonus points at the halfway mark. Amelia Earhart was in 10th. Lily was in 20th, and the Spice Girls were in 30th. They each got a bonus point for that. Then you see 20 of the 21 leaders over there. Michael Scott did get the extra bonus point for leading the most laps. Indiana Jones was up there as well. We led 2 laps. Michael Jackson led a lap somewhere. You can see all that. And 11 through 20. I mean, nothing to talk about right now. We'll get into all this once the season really kicks into high gear. Randy Marsh ended up finishing 22nd. Made a note during the race that he ran out of gas during that one stretch, but then was able to draft with our group and stay with us. And I wanted to show him staying with us, but we ended up blowing through our pit stall, and I wanted to highlight that. And there you see we finished in 33rd. We knew Gus Spring was a lap down, and some of these other guys, not exactly sure what happened to them that got them a lap down, but whatever. All right, we're going to the Atlanta D configuration night race next. Hoping to have the full schedule, talk about the full schedule there during that race. And it's all flipped next race. So Michael Jackson has the pole. Tobias Funke there is going to be starting second. You get the idea. Ray Finkel will be starting 40th. All right, we're going to have fun this season. A lot of fun. Thanks for watching.